And this show will be dedicated to Ruth and Stan Etkin. I know that will mean a lot to them, and Hayden is going to go ahead and film the whole thing for us. So we decided, we were talking about what to do, Linda and I, and several of you about what to do today. And I thought what would be really terrific is to go back over some of our best Jewish-themed shows. We've done a lot of them. In fact, Banner Presbyterian used to get a Jewish grant, which is real unusual, but we did, because we were doing such good work. So we're going to take you back to some of the shows that we've done. This show today for you was put together just for you. It's not in their repertoire, it's not from Summer Theatre. So we want you to come see the Summer Theatre and see the shows. I'll tell you more about that later, but this is just for you. So the students worked on it, and Jim, thank you for bringing the sound up here. We really appreciate that, and we'll get going. We're going to start off with Fiddler and end with Fiddler, because that's kind of the quintessential, that's the one we go with. And I'm going to ask the lovely Devin Frieder to come up. And Devin is playing the lead in Chicago and in Singing in the Rain. She's out in New York, and she's going to do Huddles, Far From the Home I Love. But she needs to, doesn't she? Yeah, she needs to do it. We did Fiddler in 1981, 1985, and 2003, and I've done it a bunch of times besides that. So we did that quite a few times. We're going to bring up the play. You may not have heard of it. You may have, The Rothschilds. I love that play, and nobody does it hardly. But we have done it, and Jim did the role that he's going to do right now. Now, Jim Taylor's been around for quite a while. He's the stable and secretary. And he's the one that got all this sound together and helped me put this program together. Jim is now our interim chair of the department while they go seeking a chair. So he's going to be running things around here, and he'll be good at it. He's going to do, the patriarch of the Rothschilds always wondered if he would get out of the ghetto. He never left the ghetto. He stayed there even when they became wealthy and all that. And he was like, in my own lifetime, could things be different? And that's what Jim's going to sing.
Ann said I could use music. I'm getting too old to memorize things. So you would appreciate that, I'm sure. That's right, I got a lot of good company here. And I'm not Jewish, by the way, but I have played God, so hopefully that qualifies me for adoption soon enough. So, Paul.
In my own lifetime, I want to see the fighting cease. In my own lifetime, I want to see my sons enjoy the fruits of peace. While I'm still here, I want to know, beyond a doubt, that no one can lock us in or lock us out. We have climbed higher, much higher than I thought we'd climb. It's a long journey, and even though the end's in sight, there's not much time. In my own lifetime, I want to see our efforts blessed. In my own lifetime, I want to see the walls come down, and then I'll rest. This Moses wants to see the promised land. In my own
from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which we did in 1986, 1991, and 1997. And you know the story of Joseph, and this is where Joseph has been thrown in jail, and he's like, my dreams is like any dream will do at this point. We're going to ask Rising Jr. at Lees-McRae College, Ethan, or Joshua Ethan Henry, to come forward and sing this for you.
Close my eyes, pull back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew, far, far away. Someone was weeping, the world was sleeping, any dream will do. I wore my coat flew out of sight. The colors faded into darkness. I was left alone. But may I return to the beginning. The light is dimming, and the dream is too. The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do.
I have a very smart little student back there who, has a real high grade point average, and she went, "Doc, that is not where that happens in the show. I've only directed it 5 times," and she's right. It happens right in the beginning of the show. So, thanks, Emma. So, that's where that happens. Okay, just a couple of privileged moments. I said this the other day, and I still mean it. The glue that holds us together is Paul Edison on the piano. Cheers back there, everybody loves him. We're doing Chicago. You know what Chicago's about. You may not know what 39 Steps is about. 39 Steps is an Alfred Hitchcock on the 39 Steps, but it's a comedy. We make fun of all the different Alfred Hitchcock shows, and 4 people play tons of roles, and we have to throw in lots of fog and special effects and all that. You won't want to miss it. And then Singing the Rain, I don't have to tell you about either, because you probably know pretty much about that, so we should be good on that. We're going to go on to Children of Eden. We did Children of Eden in 1987, and that is basically, the first half of it is Adam and Eve through Eve's death. The second half is about Noah and the ark and all that. And Jim has performed with us before, and he's going to join our lovely cast member, Litala Abrahams. And Litala's going to talk to you just a minute, I think. And then they're going to do a piece called In Whatever Time We Have. This is in the second act. They're just getting ready to load the boat, and the Litala character has the mark of Cain. And so she would not be going on the boat. And so they sing a love song to each other, and this is all the time they have. So Litala, come out and talk to us, and then we'll do this now.
Good afternoon, how are you? Janet asked me to speak a little bit about my background and everything. My father actually moved here from Israel when he was, I think 23, so I'm half Israeli, and I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. Grew up in going to temple and everything, and I really appreciate my Jewish background, and yeah,
It's
to bring out somebody else playing the same role. And so Lauren's going to come out. Lauren is a rising junior, one of our top scholars at Lees-McRae. We're real proud of her. And she's going to do Children of the Rain. Again, remember, she has the mark of Cain. And so she's saying that all of us are children of the rain. And what do we do with that? So, Lauren? You're so tall.
Shed no tears for me, they'll be rain enough today. I'm wishing you Godspeed as I bring you on your way. This won't be the first time I've stayed behind to face the bitter consequences of an ancient fall from grace. I'm a daughter of the race of Cain, but I am not a stranger to the rain. Orphan in a storm, that's the role I played before. I've learned not to tremble when I hear the thunder roar. I don't curse what I can't change, I just play the hands I've dealt. And when they lighten up the rations, I tighten up my belt. I won't say I've never felt the pain, but I am not a stranger to the rain. And for the boy who's given me the sweetest love I've known, I wish for you another love so you won't be alone. But I am bound to walk among the wounded and the slain. And when the storm comes crashing on the plain, I will dance before the lightning to music sacred and profane. Oh, shed no tears for me, light a candle for my sake. This journey I'll be making is one we all must make. Shoulder to the wind, I'll turn my face into the spray. And when the heavens open, let the drops fall where they may. And may they finally wash away the stain from a daughter of the race of Cain. I am not a stranger to the rain. Let it rain.
Jim's going to play God now. We're going to ask him to come up and reprise his role that he did in Children of Eden. When he did God, and God is singing, and he sees he sees Adam and Eve, and he's like, the only thing I can do is let them go. And it kind of has a lot to do with us as parents, because it deals a lot with parenting and God's parenting of Adam and Eve. So this is called the hardest part of love, is letting go.
Oh, this son of mine I love so well, and oh, the toll it takes. I would give to him a garden and keep it clean. But the one thing he most treasures is to make his own mistakes. Oh, he goes charging up the cliffs of life, a reckless mountaineer. I could help him not to stumble, I could warn him what to fear. I could shout until I'm breathless, and he'd still refuse to hear. Oh, but you cannot close the acorn once the oak begins to grow, and you cannot close your heart to what it fears and needs to know, that the hardest part of love is letting go. As a child I had a sparrow that had fallen from its nest, and I nursed it back to health till it was stronger than the rest. But when I tried to hold it, then it pecked and scratched my chest till I let it go. And I watched it fly away from me with its bright and selfish song. And a part of me was cursing I had helped it grow so strong. And I feared it might go hungry, and I feared it might go wrong. Oh, but I could not close the acorn once the oak began to grow. And I cannot close my heart to what it fears and needs to know, that the hardest part of love is letting go. And it's only in Eden grows a rose without a thorn, and your children start to leave you on the day that they are born. They will leave you there to cheer for them, they will leave you there to mourn ever so. Like an ark on uncharted seas, their lives will be tossed, and the deeper is your love for them, the crueler is the cost. And just when they start to find themselves is when you fear they're lost. Oh, but you cannot close the acorn once the oak begins to grow, and you cannot close your heart to what it fears and needs to know, that the hardest part of love and the rarest part of love and the truest part of love is letting go.
Jim's office used to be next to mine, and I got to hear that all the time. It just crooned me to sleep. So, we're going to do a piece now from Rags. Don't know if you know about that show. Didn't last in New York but about 4 days. But when we did it, it did really well. And it is basically this continuation of Fiddler. Once the folks left Russia and all the places that they went and ended up in New York, it wasn't easy there either. So this song is called Rags. This young woman doesn't know where her life is going. All she knows is that they're living in poverty. And we're going to ask Miss Emma Sheffer to sing that. She's a rising junior, also a top scholar, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself too.
Hello, my name's Emma Ruth Etkin. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I grew up, my mother was Jewish, grew up with her Jewish family, and while I'm more of a spiritually broad person, I've always been very thankful to have the Jewish culture in my life because the family and the community and the food. And I make a soybean matzo ball soup. Open your eyes, Bella. Just take a breath. Please don't tell me that again. Don't tell me how it all belongs to me. Open your eyes, Bella. Not outdoors, Papa. Every time I take a breath, I gag. Open your eyes, Bella. No, open yours, Papa. Mine are open wide, and let me tell you what I see. Rags. Rags. This land of freedom we had to come to, where now we're free, just like everyone, to wear rags. It's all day seeing them, all day smelling them, all day listening to peddlers selling them. Rags. Rags. I live in rags, and so I'm right in time. All the while, sewing, sewing, see us sewing. Hags, we turn to hags. It happens bit by bit. Picture it, Papa. There I sit, sewing buttons on rags. Oh, Papa, was it so necessary to drag us onto that stinking ferry and drag us in to become American rags? Papa, I know you had to leave. I know how much you wanted to be free. Just don't say again how you did it all for me. When all I got is rags, and it's rags to wear, and it's rags to buy, and it's rags to wash and hang out to dry like old flags. It's rags on heads and it's rags on feet. It's the latest look on Delancey Street. It's all rags. Dreams, you gave me dreams of such a golden praise. Silk and lace, milk and honey. Oh, that's funny.